So we start with a simple definition, or statement of a fact actually, when there is an electric current in a component just means anything which we put in a circuit, literally means part. There is an energy transformation. So obvious ones, things like light bulb, current flows in it, you get electrical energy transformed into light and heat. Or a resistor, which is maybe not so obvious, and the energy change for that would be electrical energy changes to heat energy. Number two then, once we've talked a wee bit about energy, is just a reminder of power. Now we met this in the mechanical part of the course. And power is defined as the energy per second. Now it can be the energy used per second, the energy given out per second, so you can have input powers, output powers. Often you'll see it expressed as work done per second, but just remember work done means the change in energy. And then we can remind ourselves then of that formula that goes with that. So this is just a formula version of the words I've just given. Energy per second, so energy divided by the time in seconds will give you the power. And the units of power is a watt, or capital W for short. Energy is measured in joules. Small t stands for time, and it's got to be in seconds, so if you're given it in anything else you would convert. But what would be useful is in circuits, it can show, but it requires an equation at higher to actually prove this, so you just need to take my word for it at this point. In a circuit, we can link power to the kind of quantities that we measure in circuits like current and voltage. Current in amps, amperes, voltage in volts. And obviously in a circuit that's much easier than always measuring energy in time, although you could do that as well. So, brief example of that. A heater connected to mains uses 3 amps. Calculate its power. And often you'll see words like its power rating, but it just means its power. So going through this question, what we're given in the question is I equals 3 amps. At first glance it might appear to be all, but we're told it's connected to mains. So if we remember back to one of the first chapters in electricity, we met the idea that the mains voltage in the UK is 230 volts. Assume it's in the UK unless the question specifies otherwise. And we're being asked the power rating. So simple, P equals IV equals 3 times 230, and the power is 690 watts. Now, for learning outcome 4, what we see are different forms of that P equals IV equation. I'll quickly go through the derivation here. I think it comes up in the homework. I doubt you'll be asked it in an exam. But if you start with the idea that P is equal to IV, but you also know that V is equal to IR from our previous Ohm's law, then we can take this V and replace it with IR. So we can write P equals I, and where we had V, we can write IR. And usually we write I times I as I squared. So we end up with further form of the power formula for circuits. So you're given all three forms, we'll do the third one in a wee second. But P equals I squared R is the second form that you need. I do something similar here for the third form, P equals IV, but this time instead of replacing V, I'm going to take Ohm's law rearranged as I equals V over R. So I'm going to replace this I by what's over there. So it'll become P equals V over R, but it still had a V there. And that simplified, if you gather together the V terms, is V squared over R. So these are the two formulas that we can add to the P equals IV as well. So P, quite obviously again, is power measured in watts. I is current measured in amps. And sorry, for this one, it's R is resistance. So if you've got it in kilo ohms, it should be converted to ohms. It's currents in milliamps, it should be converted to amps, etc. And basically you've now covered kind of any possible combination of values that you might know in a circuit. Deciding which one is appropriate just comes down to what you know in each individual question. So some examples. Now actually for a lot of examples you could just stick with P equals IV and V equals IR and do its two separate calculations, but it's a lot more work and all three forms of the formula are given in a circuit. So for example, a toaster is rated at a reasonable value. Well, let's put it as a kilowatt. So a toaster is basically just big bits of what are called resistance wire. So long bits, the bits you can see that glow red inside a toaster are bits of wire with resistance, so that the conversion from electrical energy to heat energy makes them glow. So in this question we've got that the power is 1 kilowatt. Convert that to standard units. We've got the current is 2.3 amps. And we're being asked its resistance. So looking through the possible formulas, P equals IV, P equals I squared R, P equals V squared over R. The relevant one here, because you're linking P, I and R, is P equals I squared R. You substitute the numbers that you know, as usual. P is 1000, I is 2.3 squared multiplied by R. We do the calculations. 1000 equals 5.29 times R. I'm going through all the steps just to be sure. Some of you might be able to skip straight forward to the final step. Divide both sides by 5.29 and you get your final answer then. R is 1000 divided by 5.29. I'm rounding to three significant figures. There's 189 ohms. And one more example. Heater in a washing machine. Has a resistance of 200 ohms. calculate its power rating, and once again we'll use the idea of mains. So information we're given in the question, 200 ohms, and once again because it's mains and you're being asked power, so looking through your equations again, you select the one that's relevant, and now you can substitute and then just go ahead with the calculation and rounding to 3 significant figures, we get 265 watts. Now, one consequence of this formula here that's worth discussing is that for a fixed voltage, the power and resistance are inversely proportional. So a smaller resistance will use a larger amount of power for the same power supply. And that's, for instance, that can be achieved when you put things in parallel. Remember when we looked at parallel circuits, the more branches you put in parallel, the smaller the total resistance and the larger the total power would be. Total power in any circuit, whether it's series or parallel, is always the sum of all the powers. They just always add up, whether series or parallel. And the next learning outcome then is, last couple here are just about fuses. So a fuse protects circuits, and in particular wires, from overheating, which can lead to electrical fires. So essentially it's a safety device. And what it does is it breaks the circuit if the current gets too large. Older ones, they literally did just melt when the current got too large, and so you had a gap in the circuit. Newer ones use electromagnets, for instance. When the current gets large enough, it kind of opens a switch in a circuit, and they're known as circuit breakers rather than fuses, but it's the same sort of idea. And when you're picking a fuse, basically you then have to work out the normal current. Calculate the normal current in a device, and then you pick the next largest available. So for instance, in houses, the commonly available fuses for plugs in houses are 3, 5 and 13 amps. In this course, I tend to just concentrate on the 3 and the 13 amps. So basically you work out the current for a device. If it's less than 3 amps, then you round up to 3. If it's greater than 3 amps, you would round up to 13. And a normal device which uses more than 13 amps can't be used with a socket in the UK. It has to be wired in a different way. So for instance, cookers in houses are wired internally, not through a socket. So I'll show a worked example of that. One simplification you can get is because 3 amps at mains voltage of 230 corresponds almost exactly to a power of 700 watts. It's actually 690, but you can just use a rule of thumb, less than 700 watts, then use a 3 amp fuse, greater than 700 watts, use a 13 amp fuse. Now if we check that out, so a 600 watt kettle connected to mains suggest a suitable fuse. And quite often in past paper questions what they do is they give you a selection of some of the fuses and ask you to select from the list. So basically in this question all we're given is a power, but what we're being asked when it says suggest a suitable fuse, really we're being asked the current, and because it's mains we can fill in that V is 230 volts. So now we can use our P equals IV formula, substitute, rearrange, to calculate the current. It's 2.61 amps rounded to 3 significant figures, and then given standard choice usually in these Nat 5s exams is 3 amps or 13 amp fuse, you would select a 3 amp fuse.